Greetings. The regular notice requirement of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act has been complied with in the adequate advance notice of this meeting was given at least 48 hours in advance. On June 18, 2019, notice was mailed to the Carrier Post and the Philadelphia Inquirer. Notice was also posted on the bulletin board located by the reception desk at the central office and all school building bulletin boards within the district. Roll call, please.
When I call your name, please say present. Ms. Teresa Atwood, Ms. Catherine Blackshear, Mr. Wasim Mohammed,
Present.
Mr. Nanam De Nelson,
Present.
Ms. Carmen Otero,
Present.
Ms. Martha Wilson,
Okay, will everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Also, we would like to state that Ms. Wilson have an excused absence, and the board president is here momentarily.
At this time, I'd like to announce that the district has a newly appointed board member that will be swearing in this evening. Mr. Still, would you kindly meet me down at the podium? Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Troy Still, affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments
and to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and this state
under
the authority of the people. I, Troy Still, affirm that I am not disqualified as a voter, and I am not disqualified due to conviction of a crime or any offense listed in New Jersey State Statute 18A 12-1. I, Troy Still, affirm that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of a member of a Board of Education, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of that office according to the best of my ability. Thank you and welcome to the board.
Roll call.
When I call your name, please say present. Ms. Teresa Atwood, Ms. Catherine Blackshear, Mr. Wasim Mohammed,
Present.
Mr. Nanam De Nelson,
Present.
Ms. Carmen Otero,
Present.
Mr. Troy Still,
Present.
and Ms. Martha Wilson. Okay.
Thank you. At this time, we'd like to officially welcome you, Mr. Still, to the board. We thank you for your interest, and we are looking forward to your contributions as we all work together to ensure that every single student in this city is rising. So, welcome. At this time, I open it up to the board members if you'd like to have anything to share with our new board member.
Yes, ma'am. Madam Superintendent and Madam President. Yeah, thank you. Mr. Still, thank you. We appreciate your presence on this board. You have already had a presence in the community and what you do and what you mean to the community. And I think it's a great example that you're going to become to the young men and young women in our community and throughout the school district. And we wish you great success. Thank you.
Mr. Still, would just like to say welcome.
Just want to welcome.
The board will now go into, sorry, Mr. Still, would you like to make some comments?
I'm just grateful for this opportunity to be able to sit on this board and just be a leader and be effective to my community in the city of Camden.
At this time, the board will go into closed session to discuss matters of the following nature: personnel-related matters. Do I have a motion to go into closed session? Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion was made to go into closed session by Ms. Carmen Otero and second by Mr. Wasim Mohammed. When I call your name, please say present. Ms. Teresa Atwood? All in favor of going into closed session?
Aye.
Any opposed? The time is now 5:40. The board will return in 30 minutes at 10 after 6. Thank you. Do I have a motion to come out of closed session? A motion? Second?
Second.
A motion was made by Ms. Teresa Atwood to come out of closed session. It was seconded by Mr. Wasim Mohammed. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The board is now out of closed session.
Thank you, Anissa. At this time, let's all transition down, and I'll share the superintendent's report. Good evening, everyone. At this time, we're going to move right into our superintendent's report. Thank you all for being here. First, we want to open up with a moment of silence to give reverence and honor to two individuals who have dedicated their lives to Camden City School District. One, the sudden passing of Mr. Arthur Thompson, special education teacher at Big Picture Learning Academy, and also the passing of a retiree from the district, Mr. Bernard L. Mitchell L., a former district employee. Let's take a moment to pause and honor them. Thank you. So it's August. Can't believe we're ramping up to the beginning of a brand new school year, but we are all very excited, enthusiastic, and looking forward to welcoming our young people back. With only a couple of weeks before the start of the new school year, we're excited to welcome back all of our families as well as our students. Each year, we implement a first day of school process to check in on the progress of all central office teams and how they are supporting our schools, how they are supporting our school leaders as well, and how we're just being prepared for the first day of school in general. This is based in the belief that if we are first day of school ready, we will be ready for every day of the year. Now, this does not mean we will be perfect. However, it does mean that we are prepared to take care of issues and address them as soon as possible. Tonight, we will go through many of these details. So as you know, since launching the strategic plan in September of last year, we focus our board meetings on updates in the 4 key priority areas that have been identified. In case this is your first board meeting, they are listed above. Accelerating student achievement, a great teacher in every classroom, safe schools built for 21st century success, as well as ensuring that we are putting students first. And so since we are leading into the new school year, we're going to focus our updates on what's been happening over the last 3 months of the summer. The first day of school readiness, and then also we'll highlight some high-level glimpses into the new school year ahead. And as always, we'll round out the report with highlights from the summer. So when we take a look at the work that was done over the summer, we are very, very proud of and pleased to say that we had a top-notch summer program. We had plenty of summer enrichment as well as engagement happening for our students during the months of July and August. Students from grades pre-K to incoming high school students took part in summer programming this year. Our locations included Brim, BPLA, Canva, ECDC, Caddo, and HB Wilson. We were filled with those locations were filled with activities that activated their minds, expanded our students' communication skills, and further developed their growth areas through student-centered focused lessons and projects-based learning experiences. We had roughly 550 students attend our summer programs this year, each day, pre-K through high school. So our theme, as you can see, was Under the Sea. The staff at Caddo and HB Wilson designated creative and imaginative instruction and activities that provided a fun learning experience for our students from different schools. They were from different schools, they were from different neighborhoods, different backgrounds, and different learning abilities. So again, this year, we carried on the theme of inclusion at all levels. At the beginning of the summer, every child, K through 8, received 2 books to add to their at-home reading library. So we distributed roughly 4,000 books before going into the summer. Every day during the summer program, teachers selected one student of the day to receive a book as a reward for excellent behavior. So again, as you can see, the students, they're so excited, they're proud. Some of them received these books, but many students earned these books by having exemplary behavior. Spirit Days allowed students and teachers to get wacky on Wednesday, so they had fun. Fit on Friday and celebrate Christmas in July by making gingerbread houses. So as you can see from the pictures, and our school support team pulled together some wonderful glimpses so that the pictures speak for themselves and don't need a whole lot of words. You can see the level of engagement, activity, and fun, so we made learning fun for our students. Not only did we make learning fun, friendships were developed during our club time. So students had the chance to participate in different clubs and activities, and the focus was building relationships, building friendships, all foundational to good social, emotional, educational development. Students were able to use the summer to work on academics and again, experience fun activities, and the smiles speak for themselves. You can see them working also diligently, though, at their desks on the projects that were assigned as well. Learning while having fun is possible, and our team worked very diligently to make sure that the curriculum and materials and supplies, everything was in place to ensure that that occurred. And so moving on a little bit further to our adult learners, summer, we know, is always a time for planning for principals and school leaders. This June, our leaders took a deep dive into our district's vision by demonstrating the ways we show value to our students, how we challenge our students through standards-aligned instruction and assessments, and how we are preparing our students for post-secondary careers. And our vision statement runs all throughout that statement, valuing, challenging, and preparing our students for the future. In August, our school leaders came together to gear up for the first days of school, and they also had a session at the end of June, so they were very busy this year as well preparing. They discussed restorative practices, educating the whole child, handle with care training led by special services, evaluation practices, and monitoring instruction, and thinking outside of the box to provide optimal supports to students and families of our children. Our school leaders, ops managers, and FOCs also collaborated with one another and their school leaders on best practices for social emotional support. And this is something that we had not done before. So if you take a look on the screen, on the bottom right-hand side, you will see a picture of a school leader from Newark, Mr. Akbar Cook. He's a school leader who has been given donations by Oprah Winfrey. He's been on the Ellen DeGeneres show and has been very, very popular because he cares about students, the whole child, and has done a lot of groundbreaking work in Newark, New Jersey to ensure that those who have the least are getting all of the things that they need: food, clothing. He has a laundromat in his building, but doing all those things to really reach out. He came and spent the day with our school support team and with the principals and the family operations coordinators to share. So that was our first opportunity to have someone to share best practices with us who's also on the ground dealing with the issues that we face each and every day. And it was absolutely amazing. And he threw his support in. He said that he would come back if needed, and we could visit, and we could also exchange best practices as well. So job well done to the school support team led by Deputy Fletcher. It was a wonderful, wonderful learning opportunity. And so moving on to the second priority, a great teacher in every classroom. We know that unless we have a great teacher in every classroom, all of our desires and goals and dreams to advance academic achievement won't be able to be realized. And so we wanted to share very transparently with you where we are with regard to our vacancy rates. By first day of school, 96% of all teacher vacancies will be filled with actively reporting teachers or onboarding new hires. Approximately 20 new hires will still be onboarding by first day of school. They're already in the pipeline. We just have to make sure that all of their background checks and everything come in. Substitutes have been secured for the remaining vacancies. By the first day of school, 96% of all paraprofessional vacancies will be filled with actively reporting teachers or onboarding new hires, and actively reporting paraprofessionals or onboarding new hires. Approximately 15 new hires will still be onboarding by first day of school in the paraprofessional area. Substitutes have been secured also for our paraprofessional remaining vacancies. Our DTLR team has done a great job this summer of hosting hiring fairs, thinking out of the box to close vacancies, and we have not stopped. And so we wanted to just share with you where we are as we move forward. This information does not include leave of absences, but when we are securing substitutes, we are looking at that number, that data point, to make sure that our classrooms are covered. And so new leaders. At the beginning of each new school year, it's important for the parents, community members to know who will be leading the schools that that they entrust their children to each and every day. And so you can take a look here. You'll see some pictures. I'll go over them very quickly. Although there may be a few new faces in our buildings, there are very few new to the district leaders being added to our schools. This year, there was an intentional effort to match school leaders with other leaders in our district who best complement the needs of our schools and students. This week, we will finalize our leader placements after interviewing internal and external candidates for lead educator vacancies. All principal vacancies have been filled. We anticipate to fill all leader vacancies before the first days of school. So if you take a look on the screen, just to quickly call out a few of the new leaders who will be in buildings, but not new to the district. At Camden High School, Principal Pia Garbett will step up to the leadership position to fill in for Mr. Alex Jones, who resigned. Principal Macrina will be serving as acting principal at Brim Medical Arts High School. Principal Jenkins will he's already covered BPLA, but he will also pick up the additional middle school grades at BPLA. Principal Robinson, who was at BPLA, will move over to Kramer as we anticipate Principal Phillips, who will be retiring in December. So they will be able to work together to ensure a smooth transition in December. Principal Dyer, we opened the Cream Early Childhood Center. So Ms. Dyer was serving as the leader at the Bonsall Annex. She will be serving as the principal of Cream Early Childhood Center. Principal Taylor at Pride. Mr. Taylor was serving as the acting principal. He started off as the lead educator, moved into the acting principalship, and then applied and was able to secure the principalship at Pride Academy. And at Woodrow Wilson, we'll have a team. Mr. Herb Simons and Principal Cruz Guy will serve as co-principals at Woodrow Wilson High School, building on the experience of both of those individuals and really looking forward to a great year at Woodrow Wilson High School. So to the right, you'll see every school and who is listed, but we just wanted to call out the changes that were occurring in leadership this year. Equity is something that we constantly discuss and we constantly are using to measure our practices. So we want to give you an update on our comprehensive equity plan. The district submitted its comprehensive equity plan as required in June. However, before our plan can be finalized, we must update relevant policies. Those policies are being shared today so that we can finalize those changes before the plan is to be resubmitted. In the meantime, we will also submit a corrective action plan to ensure that everything is completed prior to the end of October. And we are working together with the county superintendent's office to ensure that this occurs. We will keep you updated on our progress toward meeting all the requirements of the comprehensive equity plan. Safety and security, we know that if our students don't feel safe, if our parents don't feel safe in sending their students to school, then it won't make for optimal school experience. And so the district's Office of Safety and Security recently completed its submission to the state's Student Safety Data System, or the SSDS. Each year, the Department of Education requires all school districts to report serious incidents involving students through the SSDS. The SSDS collects two types of information from schools. One, incidents of violence, and some of those include vandalism, harassment, bullying, HIB. And then the second is information about district HIB trainings and programs. So here, you'll see the 5 schools that have the most need and the most incidents during the 2018-19 school year. Currently, we are not seeing a significant change in the number of incidents over the year prior, but we wanted to highlight where we had the most incidents occur, so we're being very transparent. The data collected showed a trend of physical altercations among students, most of which occurred during lunchtime and dismissal. While multiple incidents of harassment, intimidation, and bullying have been investigated, it was concluded that the incidents were due to student conflict and not HIB. The SSDS data also indicates an increase in the possession of contraband, and this is something that we will be addressing throughout the year in multiple ways. New smoking devices, such as e-cigarettes, Juuls, and vape pens have resulted in an increased prevalence and use of nicotine and marijuana among students. And that is not just within our district, that's a trend that's happening across the nation. However, we are doing our due diligence to prepare training to address lowering those incidences. The Office of Safety and Security will work to improve standard safety equipment at schools, such as video cameras and access management devices, increase supervision at key times and locations during the day, review preventative policies and procedures, hold regular meetings with key stakeholders, and provide training on school and district-wide emergency response. Again, as we think about schools built for 21st century success, we have to take a look at our facilities. And so each year, our facilities team ensures that all of our boilers are cleaned. You'll see a picture of someone there cleaning actually a boiler, that they are inspected and repaired prior to the heating season. Although boilers are at the heart of the heating process, they are just one part of a much larger system within our buildings. Still, we will enter the heating season with a high level of confidence that our systems are functioning properly due to this annual process and because of our improved chemical water treatment within these systems. Although we are prepared for the heating season, we have several more weeks of warm weather that we must get through. A lot of work has been performed on district HVAC systems, but there are a few hot spots, and we want to be very transparent that we are still working on in preparation for the first day of school. One, the installation of new HVAC systems at Forest Hill is wrapping up. So we are glad that that project went forward and we're wrapping up. But there may be a few days when the system must be taken offline for the installation to be completed. We are working to have this done, though, prior to the first day of school. So we are still working, but we're glad that the major work at Forest Hill has been done. Also, while the Crean building has been significantly improved since the flooding 2 years ago, Facilities is working to make final repairs to individual HVAC units in a few classrooms. We do not anticipate these repairs to affect the first day of school, but we just want you to know what we're working on toward that end. And finally, the Boys and Girls Club location of Big Picture Learning Academy has experienced a recent HVAC equipment failure that has affected several classrooms. New parts are on order, and the equipment will be brought back online. However, there is a chance that the issue will not be resolved by the first day of school, and that's because it just occurred at Big Picture. So rest assured, the district is making every effort to complete all HVAC work as quickly as possible, and those are just 3 hotspot areas that have come to the surface. The summer school cleaning process is coming to a close. This week as our custodial teams put the final touches on their schools, our students will return to buildings that have been thoroughly prepared using green cleaning methods. These methods have eliminated the use of toxic chemicals and have significantly reduced the amount of water and supplies used during the school cleaning process. Beyond the summer, this green approach to cleaning will continue throughout the school year as our buildings are maintained in a more healthy, safe, and sustainable way. Moving to technology. Following closely on the heels of our custodial teams as they finish cleaning in all areas of our schools, the district technology team has been hard at work preparing a 21st century experience for all Camden students. As of today, 95% of all instructional classroom technology and student devices have been configured and are on track for 100% instructional readiness by the first day of school. The technology team installed over 50 new access points in classrooms around the district, adding increased capacity for more devices and improved connectivity across the district network system. They also installed 35 new projectors and interactive whiteboard devices to enhance learning in the classroom. And they delivered new science laptops for our students in grades 6 through 8. Furthermore, our new educators and our returning staff will all have operational devices for the first day of school. Therefore, we look forward to well-supported and capable classrooms in the new school year. Food. Nutrition is so very important and critical for our young people if we want to ensure that they are succeeding well. Increasing food quality, we know, has been a focus this year. The school nutrition team partners with Aramark to ensure the elevation of food quality and service, and that is a continuous process. The changes implemented will continue to provide great meals and resources for our students. In addition, Aramark will ensure a WEST, W-E-S-T, customer experience. W stands for welcome, E, engage, S, smile, and T, thank you. We're hoping for a much friendlier and happier experience. We are focused on putting our students first and will increase resource and opportunities for our students. And School Nutrition 101, these series of discussions with parents and with students occurred throughout last year, and we're going to continue this approach as we move forward to continuously improve the quality of food, and that we ensure that there's a feedback loop, so we're always going back, asking questions of students, of our families as well. How do they feel about the program? So we will continue with these roundtable discussions focused on enhancing our nutrition program. Breakfast after the bell in an increased effort for the new year, all Camden schools and partners will provide breakfast after the bell. That might mean breakfast carts or serving in the classroom. With more schools utilizing this option, we will increase student access to meals in a way that does not interrupt instruction. So we're looking forward to continuing to push this effort forward. And last but not least, which is something that I think is very exciting, many parents in the past have asked for ways to give input on how they're feeling about our menus and the nutritional offerings. This year, we're going digital with school nutrition, menus, nutritional information, allergen data, ingredients, and special event data will be made available electronically from any digital device. You will also be able to provide feedback regarding meals and services. So again, another opportunity for our parents to provide feedback. More information on how you can access that will be coming soon. And moving to our final priority, in the area of family support, we are ready to help. As the first day and first week of school actually arrives, our team of dedicated staff are ready to help serve our families and communities. So these are the key people we have in place to ensure that we offer that help. Our school front office staff, including our family and operations coordinators, are always best situated to get you results. They know the students, the building, the services we provide. If you have a question, they are the best people to support you. If you don't yet have a school and are not sure what to do, our Solution Center is always happy to support you. If you are unable to get an answer at your school, always feel free to reach out to the Solution Center. Contact information for the Solution Center and our schools are available on the district website. Transportation. Last year alone, transportation was nearly 10% of our district's operating budget. 10% of our district's operating budget. And this year, in working with transportation companies, we are seeing their rates increase dramatically. Our transportation team has been working hard to find ways to save money, including we are making sure we are transporting students who are eligible, K-8 students that live 2.0 or more walking miles from school, or any student with a 504 or IEP that mandates transportation we have to provide that transportation. We know that by holding to the eligibility requirements, some previous riders were impacted. So in early August, we sent a letter to impacted families so that they had a month to plan. Our goal is that in October, if we have open seats on our existing bus routes and can offer courtesy riders a seat at no additional cost, that we will work to do so. Additionally, out of fairness, back in April, we proposed that this year, high school transportation policies for charter and Renaissance partners would match what we do for district high school students. I'm going to just underscore that and say it one more time. Back in April, we proposed that this year, high school transportation policies for charter and Renaissance partners would match what we do for district high school students to ensure equity. If a high school student lives 2.5 miles or more from their school, they're eligible for free New Jersey Transit tickets. Charter and Renaissance schools are also working with New Jersey Transit to support the increase in riders, and our safety and security team is working directly with the Camden County Police Department and New Jersey Transit to support safe transfers at the Walter Rand Transportation Center. Finally, in an effort to continue providing efficient service, the transportation team is working with the County Commission to ensure our bus bid rates are financially viable. Where we can, we are actively declining high rates for routes and working with the Commission to find competitive options and high quality yet more affordable vendors. The reason I'm sharing this is to be transparent. Last week we said no to some extremely high-priced bus routes. That means about 350 students are still waiting for information about their busing for the first day of school. And we didn't just say no because we wanted to say no. We said no because we know that under the limited fiscal resources that we have to make every dollar stretch. And also, it's not fair for companies to gouge us as a district with regard to pricing. And so we anticipate the majority of these families finding out this weekend about transportation, and some families may receive information next week, early next week. We're working diligently to get information to these families as the routes are finalized. Schools will have updates for families if they inquire. So if there are any questions, parents can go to the family operation coordinator at their school, any staff member who's available in their building, the Solution Center as well. Right now, if your child's transportation is already confirmed on a door-to-door bus route, you will be receiving a letter from the commission by this Thursday. If your child is on a bus route that does corner stops, you should receive your bus card by Thursday. If you have not received any notification by Tuesday, September 3rd, please call your child's school directly, and we will make this information available on the website because there are many parents who are not here, but we need to make sure that it is available and accessible as well. We will be taking questions about transportation, but just wanted to lay out that information for you. Moving forward with the first day of school readiness, the Cream Early Childhood Development Center, with the opening of the RT Cream Early Childhood Center, our teams are working to move all relevant equipment to follow K-8 students and ensuring all early childhood materials are ready and in place at Cream. Additionally, the on-site custodial team, the RT Cream Early Childhood Leadership Team, and the Early Childhood Leadership and Facilities Leadership have been working together tirelessly throughout the summer to get the building ready, and it looks very good. You can see the floor shining up in that one hallway, but it looks really good. They put a lot of work into ensuring that the building is ready for our youngest learners. Separately, the ECDC courtyard, which has been inaccessible over the past school year, is being worked on and should be ready by the end of September, so we'll be glad to open that back up to our students at the ECDC site in Parkside. Veterans. Shifting to veterans, there have been some exciting things happening around veterans. As we have already shared the decision to keep vets open, there has been lots of interest and lots of collaborative efforts occurring across the state, union, local, you name it. Everyone is working together to ensure the success of vets. And so we have been working collaboratively, as I shared already, and we're looking forward to bringing resources to help the school thrive. Some of those strategies include a beautification day, which occurred today. And if you take a look on the lower left side, you'll see beautiful mums that have been planted. They cleaned around the building. I believe the union president was pushing a lawnmower out there. Everyone was just doing their part to ensure that everything looks nice. Benches were refurbished, so it really looks good. And also an upcoming back-to-school barbecue, which the community is sponsoring for families in that area, will be occurring Thursday. And a new welcome center for bilingual students will be coming soon at VETS. So we'll be providing more information as to the other outcomes of our collaborative efforts at VETS as we move forward to bring resources there. Just a quick announcement, which is very important. Everyone has been really engaged in first day of school readiness, especially our business office. So not only in buildings, but also our business office. The district switched to a new accounting system this summer, and the business office has been diligently working to train and prepare users on the new system to ensure essential purchases are placed and received for first day of school. As the district awaits notification of emergency funds from the state, we want to just make sure that we're very clear. There that there are delayed funds, and that could have an impact on ordering some school supplies and certain contracts, such as HVAC repairs, lawn services, and et cetera. And so we're doing the best that we can under the circumstances, but always want to remain transparent with you. Despite the challenges, our procurement team is working tirelessly to ensure schools get their orders placed and are ready for the first day of school. And those materials are coming in as we speak. And so again, with regard to fiscal sustainability, just want to recap what we touched on previously at our special board meeting that occurred last month. For the current fiscal year, we are applying for emergency aid to mitigate the challenges of reduced revenues and increasing costs while ensuring we have sufficient resources and supports. We've already applied for that emergency aid. Emergency aid is required for our school district to continue operating this year with integrity. With additional aid, the district will have time and resources needed to implement a long-term plan to right-size our school portfolio and create a fiscally responsible, locally controlled system of public schools, as well as to ensure school buildings are adequate for educating students. And so just as a quick recap, for those of you who attended our special meeting earlier, the emergency aid would be used for the following. One, to cover the $8.6 million in aid that was not received last year. Two, the bulk of our aid, finalized ask of $35.3 million, will be used to adequately cover required costs to run the district, including transportation and many of the other costs that I have already outlined for you. And again, additionally, in keeping the vet school open, we knew that we were incurring a cost in the millions there. So just want to make sure it's very clear. We're waiting on news from the state, but we wanted to, again, quickly recap what that emergency aid is for. And so as we are thinking about budget planning, we're also thinking about long-term school planning, and you will be receiving more information. We do want to be able to invite our community, family members, and many stakeholders to the table as we think about what needs to be the long-range plan, especially when it comes to the number of buildings that we operate. So more information will be coming, but we want to make sure that we are involving all voices and that we are very proactively doing so. And on to district highlights. It's coming. In early August, various representatives from the governor's office, the SDA, the community, and the school district, to name a few, met to discuss community concerns, current operations, and next steps regarding the Camden High School athletic field and sports complex on Park Boulevard. All parties were in agreement that Camden students deserve no less than any other school district in the state when it comes to provisions that reflect their tremendous athletic abilities and accomplishments. The governor's office, community stakeholders, and the school district will organize a lunch and learn session to explore potential funding sources and future investment in the athletic facility. The district is also finalizing the scope of work for the more immediate repair of the field house so that students have improved accommodations to support their events and activities. So we want to say a big thank you to all of the community members who worked together to bring us to the table. This was initiated by the community. And as I said before, we had representation from the governor's office, the SDA, our district staff as well. So if you were present at that meeting, we took a very nice picture, and it's something else that when we want to show that picture and that unity and that, you know, we're coming together, that's when there's some technical difficulty. But if you were at that meeting, please stand. If you were at the meeting, whether you are a community member, a district official, a parent, if you were at the meeting, Kim, you were there. Please stand for the field house, the meeting of surrounding the field house. Please stand. Thank you so much. And there were many others who were not present, who are not present today. Many other community members who were present. Ms. Ronsha Dickerson did an outstanding job facilitating. It was top-notch. Mr. Stanley White brought us all together and had great desserts. It was really, really good, but it was, and there are many other community members who were there, Mr. Benson Sr. and others in the picture. But all I want to say is that together, I know that we're going to be able to really move that project forward. And the best is yet to come, not only for Camden High, but also for Woodrow Wilson's athletic facilities that are in dire need of repair as well. So we're going to keep on going. Just want to give you an update. Camden High School, everything is moving along. We got the pictures to prove it. We'll show you at a later time. But as you pass the site on either Park or Baird Boulevard, you can see the progress for yourself. The district staff continues to meet with the SDA and the design builder on a weekly basis to ensure that things are moving properly and are on track, and we are still on track for a September 2021 opening, and we will continue to provide you with updates in that area. Finally, the central office staff recently hosted a team building day where we competed in small teams to build bikes for 17 district students. It was great. There were team building activities, and we built the bikes, and we gave the bikes away, and the pictures are awesome. But I'm telling you, it was wonderful. These students were participants in our summer school program, and it was very exciting and a powerful event to see us come together to give back. Come together, to work together, to give back to our students, reminding us that even in central office, our focus is still on our young people. And it was a wonderful, wonderful activity. All right, and we also highlighted our SWAG students. They did an awesome job this summer. They helped us to do many, many projects. We employed 42 SWAG workers this year, and they were very, very helpful in many different projects that went on throughout the year. And we'll share those pictures at a later time. And last, the last slide that we're sharing here, earlier in August, our advisory board held a retreat to reflect on strategic priorities over the past school year, to build bridges, literally and figuratively, and to review status of policies, conduct a self-evaluation, and set goals for the 2019-20 school year. We spent the whole day at ECDC. School boards came also to assist in the self-assessment and the creation of the goals that the board wants as we move forward. And so these goals are in draft form and will be finalized and then presented out at a future date. But that was a very, very awesome activity, and again, it lets us know, again, we're on the road toward local control, and that was a pivotal step there. Oh, there's the picture. I have to show this one picture. I can't show it all of I shouldn't have said anything. There it is. Just leave it there. Don't touch it. Just let it stay right there for a second. So again, as I was highlighting, you can see all of the people who came together to make sure that we are going to do something innovative in order to make sure that the athletes, our student athletes, feel valued, and that there is a resurrection of a wonderful field house for our students and all of the facilities, the athletic facilities at Camden High and also at Woodrow Wilson. So again, we will continue to work collaboratively to ensure that we can secure the funds in order to move forward, because we can't use district funds in order to complete that project. And so we won't go through any of the other pictures, but I just wanted to share that picture with you, and we'll probably try to put it on the website as well, so you can take a look at it again. But it was a wonderful day. So I want to thank you all for your attention. Oh, she's working so hard to get it. Thank you, Wales. This is the central, no, it's not. There it is. This is a central office team building activity. All of the central office staff came together. We had activities, and we actually built bikes, and then gave them to students who did not have any clue that they were going to receive a brand new bike that day, 17 of them. So that was an outstanding event. And was there another? Okay. And these are our SWAG student workers. You can see them engaged in various activities. Again, 42 of them were able to earn money over the summer as they worked on district projects. And these are our board members working together on a team building activity. And again, that day was filled and led to the creation of goals that are going to lead and guide our work as we move forward. So many pivotal moments, but we've got to continue to dig in and move forward. Thank you so much for your attention, and we will acknowledge our retiree by our board member, our board president or her designee when we return to the stage. At this time, we'll turn it over. At this time, we'll turn it over to our board president to acknowledge our retirees.
I'd like to acknowledge Patricia, say her last name, Futch, clerk for 33 years.
Thank you so much. At this time, if there are any questions and comments about the presentation from our advisory board members, I'd like to offer this space if you have any questions just about the presentation that was shared at this time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam President. I want to first acknowledge my condolences to the Thompson family on the loss of their loved one. Everyone knows that not only have that family served the district for many years, but they are servant leaders in that family that served the entire city. So our heart goes out to their family and wish them comfort and ease during this time. And I also would like to send condolences to the Mitchell family. Someone who I had the opportunity to not only work with at Hatch Middle School, but as a student at Hatch Middle School, Mr. Mitchell, and that wonderful family. Another group of servant leaders from Derek Mitchell to Joe Mitchell to Fang Mitchell, a family that at Woodrow Wilson that served the Camden community, that impacted outside of Camden, the community to keep Camden pride strong. So we wish them our condolences on that behalf. And also, too, I want to say to you, Superintendent, you did a wonderful job. An interview on, I believe it was that Fox, on school. We didn't acknowledge that. Your representation was wonderful. And just to say to the students and staff and the community about the new school year coming, if we all can speak life, especially the educators in the community, to speak life into our students. You know, sometimes that we may sometimes focus on the negativity in our community, but there's a lot of great things and great people in our community. And sometimes we can discourage students with so much negativity. And I just want to add balance to that. Although negative things are present in our community, you know, I had a conversation earlier with several of the our board members, and we was talking about poverty and how we looked at poverty coming up in Camden. I think I came at the end of that era where many of us were poor, but poverty is a mentality. We didn't know it. You know, you don't have to act poor if you are below the ratio of the disparities in our community. So I just want us to, you know, as we start the new school year, to continue to encourage our students, and let's speak life into them. There's a lot of amazing things in Camden, and we can't just, you know, highlight negative things that's happening in our city. There's more positive things happening in our city than negative things. And let's do the balance sheet, be accountable like an accountant, and balance the sheet and speak life into our community. Just want to say that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Blackshear. At this time, I'll turn the meeting over to our general counsel for the public comment portion.
Thank you, Superintendent. The Camden City School District welcomes the attendance and comments from all members of the public at its meetings. The public comment period is your time to be heard on the agenda items in this meeting. This is not a time to engage in a dialogue with the board, but it is your time to present your comments to the board and to the superintendent. Each person who signed up will have 3 minutes. You will be notified when your 3 minutes are up. You cannot yield your time to another person. When it is your turn to speak, please remain at the podium and address all of your comments to the general counsel or the superintendent. Please be courteous to your fellow community members and keep your comments within the 3-minute time frame so that everyone has the opportunity to speak. At the end of the 3 minutes, the microphone will be cut off. Please conduct yourself in a respectful and courteous manner. The First Amendment is not absolute, meaning that the board can prohibit language that is inappropriate. So for anyone whose comments or actions either harass, intimidate, or threaten the safety of any person, we will provide you with a warning or immediately end your comment time. In addition, if you curse, use vulgar language, or make personal attacks, we will provide you with a warning or end your comment time. We will not interrupt you during your 3 minutes unless we deem it necessary. If a member of the public speaks about a staff member, interruption is necessary to caution him or her of the danger of slander. Members of the audience also should not interrupt the speaker at the podium. If you have any questions, please ask your questions during your 3-minute comment period. After that period is closed, the superintendent or her designee will address your questions to the extent provided by law. So I will call the number and the name, and each person can come up. So number 1 is Jennifer Perez. Number 2 is Desmond Benson. Ms. Perez and then Mr. Benson.
Good evening, parents, community members, and board members. My name is Jennifer Perez. On August 23rd, I hosted a cultural extravaganza for our youth and community to learn about the different cultures in the city of Camden. I believe that if our children learn about the different cultures, they will not have a language barrier issue from communicating with each other and other people as well. I also believe that they can learn to respect each other and support one another. As a parent, I would teach my children about different cultures, how beautiful and unique each culture is. I also would like to see our schools incorporate activities on learning about cultures. This is also a good way for school staff and community members and parents to participate in school and outside of school, and can also break the issue of language barrier. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Benson. Number 3, Aretha Turlington.
Good evening, Desmond Benson, community member of Coopers Point Family School. Good afternoon, board members and families. Welcome back. I am ready for the upcoming school year. This morning I began a fight in a goal of supporting our families and community members by hosting a neighborhood meeting in hopes that families could come out and get questions and answers about the upcoming school years from our leaders, not just our leaders here. So they will be able to put face to the names of our city leaders, not just names they hear in newspapers and on the news. I will have liked to see more turnout of our leaders. We all discussed about the support and more turnout of our parents. We can all take the first step in doing so as leaders, as coming out, and they'll show up to support us. I would like to thank Principal Casella of Coopers Point Family School, Aaron Johnson of Mastery Schools, Ms. Bessie Crawford of Camden Lutheran Housing Council, and Councilwoman Felicia Reyes-Morton for donating book bags to give out to our students today. I hope to see all at our next community meeting throughout the city. Info about our events are on our website at greatcamdenschools.org. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 3, Aretha Turlington. Number 4, Carmen Holm.
Good evening. My name is Aretha Turlington. I'm a parent advocate leader for Parents for Great Camden Schools. And today I wanted to speak on behalf of my daughter, Alasia Turlington, that's right there, and my granddaughter. She goes to Camden High. She's in the 11th grade, and her daughter was going to daycare. They had childcare for her daughter last year. And because of the budget cut now, my daughter doesn't have childcare for her baby. So how is she supposed to get her education and attend school without the child care. So we just want to know, like, what's going to go on with the child care. And then they gave her a voucher for her to get child care, but she has to be put on a waiting list now. And the child care that she's going to get is not even in our area. So she's still going to have to catch a bus to get the baby to daycare, and then another bus for her to get to school, which will still get her to school late again. So I'm just asking for some resources, some help, or something to make sure my daughter gets her education, gets to school on time, and get child care for her daughter. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 5, Adia Ingram.
Good afternoon. My name is Ms. Thorne. I'm one of the parents in Camden. My daughter is Rebecca Thorne. She's enrolled in Kramer School. And one of my main concerns is we got a lot of Spanish kids coming to our school every year. So I want to know, we need more Spanish speakers in our schools for our children, because most of our parents don't know our language barrier in the school years. We got a lot of problems with that every year. So that's my topic for today. We got 2 majors, great translators in the school, Mr. Ramos and Mr. Ortiz. That's from Kramer School. They're doing a great job with our children, and I want them to continue to be our translators for our children in our school year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Ingram, number 5. Number 6, Tanisha Parker.
Good evening. Hello, my name is Adia Ingram, and I am a parent advocate leader working with Parents for Great Camden Schools. I have a beautiful 5-year-old daughter who will be attending Leap Academy this fall. What I look forward for this school year is an effective structured curriculum that is taught in all schools, whereas an outline of what is taught in the schools is getting sent home to parents to continue teaching their children at home. Also, I am looking forward to extracurricular activities for all grades, feasible transportation, better communication within the schools and with the parents, more parent involvement, and better safety plans. Having the proper plan implemented going into this school year will make a great difference moving forward. We as a community, we as parents need to come together to make sure not just our kids, but everyone else's children receive the best education possible. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Number 6, Ms. Parker. Number 7, Sarah Jocelyn.
Hi, my name is Tanisha Parker. I'm a proud parent of 3 beautiful girls, the ones that's up there making all that noise, I'm sorry, and a parent advocate leader with Parents for Great Camden Schools. I moved to Camden from Indianapolis, Indiana in April of 2018. I'm a domestic violence survivor. Once I got to Camden, it was almost summertime, so I wasn't worried about school for my children. Then August was approaching, and I was confused as to where my children were going to go to school. Someone had told me to contact Camden Enrollment. Once I did that, Eden was put on 3 waiting lists. I didn't realize that there would be waiting lists for schools. My daughter was accepted to Kramer a week before school started. Then another situation arose where my children and I were homeless living in a shelter downtown. It was hard for me to get Eden from downtown to East Camden every day, so I had to withdraw her from school. I went to KIPP KCNA to see if there were seats available. I was told there was a seat for her. The hardest thing to do was to find a school for Eden and a quality daycare provider for my twins. Now, my children all attend schools of my choice. I became a parent advocate leader because of that reason, and I encourage other parents to do the same. But I want to see more more people working with people in transition that don't have anywhere to live, that don't know what they're going to do with their children. Because it's hard if you just don't know or have any resources. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 7, Sarah Jocelyn. Number 8, Amir Khan.
Sarah Jocelyn. Today I want to thank the board and the superintendent for the preparations that have gone on to be ready for the first day. My topic tonight is I wanted to talk about the importance of character education. I see that there was some training that was done, and this is a continuing area of such importance when we look at culture and climate, and when we look at those items, those 5 schools who had issues this year, we realize it does start in preschool. It starts in the lower grades of having character education and that respect that we need to have for all other people. So I do support the importance of teaching about other cultures and of other ways of interacting, because if we don't understand where someone's coming from and their perspective, we can misinterpret. And so I think those kinds of cultural awareness things are extremely important in our schools. I did want to ask you to please take a look on page 28 on item D.